Hi, I'm Nancy Andrews along with Bonnie Stewart for this week at the State Capitol. Bonnie, of course, the big event this week was Connecticut Business Day. We had over 400 business people come. They heard from the governor, they heard from Nancy Wyman, and then they had breakout sessions. What was the overall message?
The overall message that the business community sent was the importance of predictability and consistency when it comes to Connecticut's laws, whether it be labor laws, energy laws, tax laws, you name it. People, in order to plan for job growth or their operations as they currently exist, need to know what they're facing. And if you're trying to bring people into the state, they need to know what the deal is. So the message that was just repeated over and over again was we need a predictable and consistent policy. We don't need measures that are going to drive up the cost of doing business in Connecticut, because it's already more expensive to employ people in Connecticut than it is in most other states. And when it comes to tax policy, we need to stop looking at new proposals every year, because that's a problem for many people, because when you're planning your taxes, you don't plan on a one-year basis. You plan out 3, 5, 10 years. So I thought that the business people did an excellent job of sharing those concerns in terms of Connecticut being a high-cost state and some of the things we could do to address that.
Okay. And I also understand that dozens of business people sent letters to their legislators regarding the sick leave bill, and there was a hearing that Kia testified at this week.
Yes, unfortunately, the Labor Committee did hear the mandated paid sick leave bill again, but the business community spoke loud and clear. A lot of letters of opposition were sent to the Labor Committee, and people had some really good explanations as to why this one-size-fits-all approach just does not work. And I think that a lot of legislators heard that during the breakout session at Business Day as well.
Okay. And you testified in front of the Commerce Committee this week.
Yes, the Commerce Committee had several different bills. One of them was a tax bill that we are very supportive of, because it gives smaller businesses the opportunity to take advantage of some of the tax credits by allowing pass-through entities to apply that tax credit to their personal income tax, something the small business community has been asking for quite some time. So we're very appreciative of the Commerce Committee's efforts on that front.
Okay, and Eric Brown testified in front of Commerce and Environment on permitting. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, yesterday was definitely a good day when it came to the Commerce Committee, it was definitely a good day for Eric earlier in the week when he spoke to the Environment Committee, because everyone seemed to understand that permitting, especially as it relates to the Department of Environmental Protection, is a hindrance when it comes to economic development. So there was a lot of talk about how we could streamline the permitting process and make sure that permits were issued in a timely manner, and that all the checks and balances were in there to make sure that things were being done right. But we weren't going to have to wait a year and a half to get a permit. So the comments from Eric were definitely well received, and legislators seemed to understand what the problems were and have some really good solutions for fixing them. So that was a very good turnout from last week.
Okay, and there was also some good news from the Insurance Committee?
Yes, they had a measure in there regarding disability insurance, something that a lot of employers make available to their employees. But the measure would have actually increased significantly the cost for both employers and employees. The Insurance Committee understood this by the comments that were made, and they unanimously agreed to amend it so that the modifications to the bill will only be minor cost adjustments. So that was good news, because the initial bill would have been quite costly. Okay. So it was nice to see that everyone was listening.
Great. Thank you, Bonnie. And look for more detailed information on these topics in this week's Government Affairs Report. And as always, visit CBIA.com for updated information. Thank you.